Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. So today I have this old cooler. My kids are out here running around. So if you see the camera shake, it's them running by, or if you hear a squeal of excitement, it's just them. So when my husband and I first got married, he owned this house. We moved to Montana for 5 years and then we moved back. This cooler was left outside in the elements, and I guess we could use it. It's kind of warped, so it doesn't seal tightly like it used to. And I was like, let's throw it, let's get rid of it. Not gonna use it. And he's like, well, let's plant in it. I'm like, okay. So we planted it up last summer with some beautiful plants. We had this salmon colored hibiscus. We had wave petunias, vinca vine. The vinca vine actually grew all the way down to the deck, and it started to grow through the deck boards. That's how long it got. So today I have a few plants, but I thought if you're planning on hosting something for 4th of July, I would throw, your standard red, white, and blue into this cooler, and I think it would be an awesome decoration piece for the 4th of July if you're hosting a party. I do not have that. I actually scrounged around. I wasn't planning on planting any more containers, so I scrounged around to find some plants. So I already have some soil in it. I just topped it off a little bit with some potting mix. I have 4 geraniums. Here's 2 that I wintered over last winter, and I was planning on putting these in different containers. I have whiskey barrel containers on my front deck. I was going to pop these in, and I totally forgot about this. And then when I saw this, I'm like, you know what, I'll just throw the geraniums in here. I also have 7 pansies. Now pansies, they're typically known for either a spring or a fall plant because they don't typically like when it gets super hot. However, living in northern Minnesota, we don't get that crazy hot. We get hot for us, but compared to the rest of the United States, like California, Florida, we do not get hot whatsoever. So typically, if you have it kind of planted with other plants, and then this is on the east side of the house, so it's protected from the super hot part of the day, I think that these pansies will do fine. This is just the giant mix. You can see there's a blue blooming, but there should also be like a pinkish red color, yellow color. We'll see what we get. Actually, most of these, they all look blue, bluish purple. Here's another one. I don't know if you can see that. So there's 4 in here, 4 in here, 1 in there. So I guess I have 9. So I'm going to separate those and make that work. And then I have this thing as well. I honestly can't remember the name. I planted it out in a container 2 years ago. I wintered it over. It stayed in the house all summer last year, and it suffered because house plants, they just don't do well in the summer, if you catch my drift. Outside plants get 100% of my attention. So it pretty much died back. There's still some crispy brown that I should groom off, and I will one of these days, but I thought I would just kind of pop that in the front like that with the pansies on either side and the geraniums in the back. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, you guys, I am done, and I think it turned out so good. All right, here we are. Now this, like I said, I'll have to look up the name. It will kind of cover up the Tommy Bahama name. I know, part of me doesn't mind it being covered up, but the other part is like, that's what makes it funny, and I feel like is the name and just what it is. So again, I will have to come in and just kind of groom this up, but this will fill in so nicely, and I think I'll be so happy being back outside and where it will just get a lot more TLC and attention, and it should really flourish. And I love this because it's almost waxy, almost like a succulent type of leaf or a sedum. I love it. It gets these tiny reddish pink colored flowers all over it, and this thing is hardy. Like, it can tolerate a frost, no problem, a light frost. Once it gets to be a heavy frost, that's a different matter. But I had this outside with all my pumpkins displayed for fall before I brought it inside, and it loved life. When it got cold, it just thrived and it bloomed nonstop. So again, I left this one on just to show you the color, but I will pop this off. But yeah, this is the color. I'm not sure the variety. This is, like I mentioned, one that I saved over winter. We got this in a hanging basket, so it didn't have the variety on it last summer. I just said geranium hanging basket when we bought it, but it's a very pretty bright pop of color. And I have tons more blooms coming, tons more. And then, of course, the pansies. Now, as I planted it, I'm pretty sure I planted 2 packs. So they were like 100 seeds, and this is all I got. 9 plants that germinated, but it turned out to be perfect. It's all I needed, and they should hopefully fill in. The geraniums will get a little bit bigger. Everything, I think it will just look great. I think it'll look fabulous. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about is last year I mentioned I had a hibiscus that got, this big, and it kept the lid open. If we get a super heavy windstorm, this could potentially crack down on all the plants. So I'm going to keep that in mind. So maybe next year I'll go back to the hibiscus. Plus, I love the hibiscus because, Bahama hibiscus was tropical. It just matched. But that is actually it for this video. Super short, one thing, but I thought it was fun. Totally forgot about it. For the moment decision to plant this up, but I think it will be a great addition to my deck. I like to have people over for dinner. I like to spend time on this deck, and it's just an awesome conversation piece. So that is it. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.